doing with my life?
A funnier and more honest opening would be, what am I doing with my death? Also, holy get ready for some narration. And does being a zombie allow you to maintain complete consciousness, but periodically forget that you were dead? What's the deal with this Pride and Prejudice font? This is a pretty period-specific font for something that takes place in the not-so-distant dystopian future.
I can't remember my name, or my parents, or my job. You were a janitor. You were the rich son of a corporate CEO. You were a personal trainer.
So he doesn't remember his name or family, but is able to recall that janitors, rich kids, and personal trainers all previously existed?
Although my hoodie would suggest I was unemployed.
Okay, that's racist. How come this guy, who is still a zombie, still has a very clear understanding of what his job is? Is it because he became a zombie at work? Are people who were at work when they were turned into zombies doomed to do their job until they become bony? That last question may sound dirty to those of you watching who haven't seen this film.
Sometimes I look at the others and try to imagine what they were. You were a janitor.
Well, that was a pretty easy one. He is clearly dressed like a janitor and is mopping the floor.
And now you're a corpse.
The zombies in this movie are not the undead, walkers, stragglers, saifu, zeds, or ankle biters. They are corpses, which is already a word used for a simple, completely dead body. With the obscene list of zombie names that already exist, could they not think of a better thing to call the undead?
I have a hard time piecing together how this whole apocalypse thing happened, but it doesn't really matter.
Zombie films that fail to explain the science of worldwide zombiedom are lazy, and sloth is an actual sin. You can write anything you want. Make it anything. Say it was God, or aliens, or an ancient curse. So the janitor and the TSA zombies still have to work, but the chef gets to aimlessly roam? Either he's really slacking at his job, or Jack White was rocking a daring outfit on the day of the zombie apocalypse.
When everyone could express themselves, and communicate their feelings, and just enjoy each other's company.
The technology as isolating argument should only be used by angry grandpas. I bet at least one person on any of those phones was communicating with a loved one. How does he have the dexterity to do any of this? I don't think any of these people are actually zombies. They just have the flu. Also, R, the corpse, would have to have some basic high-voltage electrical wiring knowledge in order to have a functioning record player on an airplane, unless the record player operates under the same principles that allow R to continue basically living without a functioning circulatory system. I'm assuming the labelless record means they didn't have all the paperwork in place for whichever song they were going to use in this scene. And so this movie begins the seemingly endless parade of playing the right song at just the right time that happens throughout.
City. Even though we can't communicate.
Weren't they just communicating? There weren't so many words, but both of them had a pretty clear understanding of what they both wanted, which is the whole point.
God, we move slow.
Yet miraculously, when zombies become bony, they're able to run at normal, living human speeds, even though they have no muscle mass. We clearly need to hook up the team that built this wall with Rick Grimes and the gang. They are leaps and bounds better at building a wall. Ma'am, I need to see your cootie shot papers before you enter the compound. The Jumbotron is absolutely essential. No need to conserve the considerable amount of power that it draws and just have the few of them watch it on a computer monitor, or have anyone just say all this to them before they leave. In order to quell any comparison between this film and Twilight, the filmmakers cast a girl who looks just like Kristen Stewart, but she has blonde hair.
First, a word of caution. Corpses look human. They are not. They do not think. They do not bleed.
You would think that after 8 years of a post-apocalyptic zombie hellscape, they would already be well aware of this. I guess if he didn't explain this in the video they are watching, we wouldn't have had the setup for the expositional line.
Sound like anyone you know, Dad?
Long, loose hair is a bad idea out in a war zone, Blondie. Your friend to the left may look like she's from a fundamentalist compound, but at least a zombie can't rip off a chunk of her scalp. One thing that survived the zombie apocalypse was, sadly, bad puns. That wall's pun skills have reached a Disney's Haunted Mansion level. Are the metal rods supposed to be obstacles for the zombies, or is this the remains of a Native American village? That seems like way too much graffiti in a city where everyone needed to flee from roving bands of flesh-eaters. Unless there are zombies out there who can only graffiti, like the zombie janitor who can only mop.
You gonna help us out or what?
No dice, almost at level 5.
I feel like he would have a lot of free time, since there's not too much to do anymore because of the end of the world. So why would he pick this moment, one of the few moments where there's something important to do, to play his inexplicably still functioning PSP?
Take some Prozac, maybe that'll cheer you up.
The film establishes the zombies took over 8 years ago, but this nearby hospital is still stuffed with drugs. The stock of medicines should be picked dry.
Head for their heads!
Perry tells everyone to aim for their heads, even though the Colonel made it clear to do that earlier. And that has been the #1 zombie rule since the beginning of zombie folklore. Marcus, the Rob Corddry zombie, gets shot in the chest, destroying the vital organs that he would need to transition into a living person, even though he does this later in the movie. Is it really such a good idea to shoot wildly in the general direction of all these rare, life-saving medicines? Perry has a clean shot that he doesn't take, because he apparently lost the will to live. Eating brains transfers memories to the zombie. That seems like a totally useful thing to happen for no reason other than to make the plot happen. That zombie enjoyed her punching him so much he decided to do a flip. Marcus smells a living person, Julie, or even Julie's friend Nora, who doesn't have zombie goo on her, but does nothing and leaves, as does everyone else. So just a little smear of zombie juice keeps the other zombies from smelling her. Why does no one know about the Brill Cream-esque powers of zombie innards? If you don't get that joke, ask your grandfather. If the power to eat the living is so strong, why is he not overcome with that power as soon as he's inches away from her? What do you think it is, Huey Lewis?
But they would think I was insane. If they could think.
How cocky is this zombie kid to think he's the only one that can think? He should use his brain that is clearly still functioning at normal human capacity and realize that they can definitely think. And they just hunted together as a pack, which requires some cognitive ability. Has the zombie TSA agent had a working metal detector for 8 years?
There's a lot of ways to get to know a person. Eating her dead boyfriend's brains is one of the more unorthodox methods.
In that there was no way it would work. Also, do brains not go bad? You'd think after being in his pockets for a while, Perry's memories would be really blurry, or in black and white, or something. Also, why are so many of his memories in the third person? Was he always carrying a mirror with him? I mean, I probably would if I was Dave Franco. Earlier, R makes a joke about how when zombies go to hunt, it takes forever because they walk slow. But these assholes can run at a full gait with no problem, so you just stepped on your joke with this nonsense. Also, I'm surprised Perry made it as long as he did. He is consistently bad at getting up / shooting at the right times.
Don't be creepy, don't be creepy, don't be creepy.
More dudes approaching women out there should repeat this mantra to themselves.
Why did you save me?
Okay, valid question. But a more valid question might be, how the f*** did you learn to talk? Can all of you talk? Do you guys not actually need to eat people? You just do it because you're assholes? Okay, maybe more like questions, plural. If he's supposed to be playing a copy of GNR's Lies, the song currently playing, Patience, is the first track on the B-side. Looks like the song he picked was One in a Million.
What are you?
We've got a regular Barbara Walters over here asking these hard-hitting questions. If she keeps this up, I am positive that she will continue to know nothing. Hey look, it's the heart that got stabbed earlier. It's curious that we don't see anything gush out of his left ventricle.
I'd be very grateful for some food.
Okay.
She is still maintaining an unbelievable degree of acceptance for the zombie who can effectively communicate. For someone who has lived in a zombie apocalypse for 8 years and can be trusted to help with a supply run, she should know how terrible an idea it is to run through a very wide open space with no weaponry or cover. Were these zombies just hiding behind these luggage cars, hoping that something delicious would run by? Or did they all decide to play hide and seek outside, and those things were the only suitable hiding place? Selena Gomez zombie. I know this was supposed to be a fake jump scare, but a zombie actually did touch her. If I were her, I would still freak out a little bit. Rick Grimes zombie. Is this a Walking Dead spoiler? I had almost forgotten about the whole thing with Beth, but now this? I think Julie just confused B. Dead with B. Kate McKinnon. She is super into that unrefrigerated 8-year-old bottle of beer. Have fun with the pukes later, kid.
Randy, Raphael, Ricardo?
Did she really run out of white boy names that quickly? He really doesn't look like a Ricardo. Also, just so you're not surprised by the balcony scene later, I'm guessing his name is Romeo, since she's Julie and all.
But you walked me into this place, so I know that you can walk me out again.
Julie also should know that all she needs is a little zombie fluid and she can escape all on her own. She doesn't really need R to walk her out, even though it would be the chivalrous thing to do.
Oh no, she can't leave, she just got here.
Supposed hero of the story is going to keep this girl here against her will, because love? Instead of using the car to get back to her home, she's just driving it nowhere, wasting gas. Also, she's out in the open again. Shouldn't the zombies be able to smell her? She doesn't have any zombie blood smeared on her face this time.
Pick a foot. You're using 2 feet. Pick 1 foot.
So the single heartbeat he experienced yesterday brought his ability to speak a Caesar from the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes level and gave him the motor skills to drive a car like a 15-year-old.
Oh, Jesus, R!
Not sure what she expected. This is what you get when you let a dead person drive.
What's with all the vinyl?
In this film, zombiedom is a metaphor for hipsters. Think about it. He brags about vinyl, keeps an airplane full of kitschy knickknacks, and sucks up the personalities of people he wants to be like.
These are really cool records. You, my friend, are a hoarder.
She was just complimenting him on his awesome record collection, and immediately accuses him of being a hoarder for having it. Are they recycling footage of the needle dropping on a record from earlier in the movie? That's the same place they put the needle in the earlier scene. And the song that she plays is not in that spot on the record. And both songs they've played when using this footage are the first track of the B-side on both records. Where the hell did he find this stereoscope? In the same place where he found the font for the opening credits? This montage is so sweet, it's giving me diabetes. Good to know there's no shortage of contouring makeup in the human settlement. Oh man, he's going for it! Oh wait, no, false alarm. So Perry was in their militia? What is their training like? Does the drill sergeant yell, "Stay completely still as long as you can in order to make sure you get in harm's way"? He sees the error of his ways because he's disgusted at this memory. But after 60 seconds of flashback, why hasn't he swallowed this brain already? Even Marcus has enough dexterity to grab and throw the weed whacker, and he hasn't even fallen in love with a living person yet. Imagine when he starts to come back to life. He's probably going to remember his life, his name. Wait, what? He actually does? This movie has no rules. Is she really just standing there while that zombie comes slowly at her? She should at least apply her skills learned at the Prometheus School of running away from things. If they had glasses of water, a baseball bat, and Joaquin Phoenix, they could probably get rid of most of the bonies. Has everyone forgotten that he can wipe her down with a zombie paste and suddenly she becomes invisible to zombies? Try that trick! Bonies can run faster than normal zombies even though their skin falls off and their muscles presumably atrophy. Does the infection allow their body to continue living without oxygenated blood and get stronger as it decays? I bet if the writer of this film could actually hear me asking this, he would probably say, "Sure, that sounds good." Shut the door just in time to keep the scare scary monster out cliche. Those bonies are doing a lot of standing around, considering their MO. Maybe they attended the Perry Kelvin school of standing and staring at your adversary. Rob Zombie ex machina. Also, the heroes are saved by a deus ex machina, which literally means God from the machine. Not sure what the Latin phrase is for a zombie on a luggage mover. The convertible they scavenged has working brakes, headlights, wipers, plenty of gas and other fluids, good tire treads, but no cover from the rain. Also, they seem to be able to drive through the rain without rain mist getting in their eyes and or raindrops hitting them in the face, which would not be pleasant and definitely would not be slightly sexy.
I haven't seen one of these in forever.
This is also true for those of us who are not living in a post-apocalyptic world.
You could sleep in there if you want.
The filmmakers don't CG into his pants and show his penis doing what his heart did earlier in the film when she says this. The cure for being a zombie is apparently to get triggered by an emotionally manipulative image, which means that in this universe, the world will be saved by stock photographs of happy couples. Now, I understand that Marcus is also remembering R and Julie holding hands, but not all these other zombies saw that. So they're just getting all their feels from a picture that has always been available to them? Also, this movie is basically a zombie retread of Pleasantville, where emotions change conformity into individuals.
Do you have to eat people?
Yeah.
This is clearly a lie. The last person he ate was Perry, and that was days ago. Wouldn't he have starved at this point?
I guess I hope that you didn't.
Julie is the most kickback girl in the history of film. Zombie with feelings? Whatever. That zombie killed your boyfriend? It happens. R is dreaming of something from a simpler time when Julie and her friends sat next to an entire apple orchard eating apples, so they'd look even more like assholes. Why is Nora in his dream? He has had no interaction with her, and probably didn't even see her when they were briefly in the same room together. Yet here she is driving the conversation.
Things don't change. I need to accept that.
Except that the world was normal 8 years ago and now there's a bunch of zombies. And also that you yourself have literally changed over the past 48 hours. Is this the same red BMW convertible they smashed the shit out of like 25 minutes ago? Also, if she hadn't driven that car needlessly around the airport, she could have made it back to the city instead of having to I Am Legend style walk back. These zombies all have pretty excellent shoes for doing nothing but shuffling around 24/7 for the past 8 years.
You okay?
Zombie motions.
Bitches, man.
And just over the 1 hour mark, we get some needless bro-style shit talk on bitches. You know how bitches are, always wanting to not be around the murderous zombies they have a crush on and
I saw pictures, memories.
Why do all the other zombies who are not in love start feeling again? Can they all really get cured through empathy?
My mom. Cream of wheat. A girl. Dream. A dream.
What the zombies can and cannot remember is so arbitrary. Marcus gets to remember all these things and have a dream, but not know what to call it. But R still has no memory of anything.
They said, yeah.
There must also be a zombie language that R is not privy to because Marcus had to translate this for him. The right stuff style hero style walk cliche. This one seems to be a universal favorite among directors and screenwriters. Lucky for this movie, they didn't have to slow down the footage. Zombie R contains amazing super strength, proving my theory that he was some sort of beast-like superhero before getting bit. The recognizable poster of a cool band to indicate a character's bad attitude cliche.
Corpse is just it's just a stupid name that we came up with for a state of being that we don't understand.
Julie might not have been able to go to college, but at least she gets the dorm room experience of feeling profound with your friends at 2 a.m. Also, corpse is a word that has been used for centuries to describe something that all of humankind can understand.
I actually miss him.
Must be because of the scintillating conversation he offered. Okay, I can forgive him being R, as in Romeo, and her being Julie, as in Juliet. But the balcony scene with him standing in the garden is a little on the nose.
The people here, they're not like me.
They're not super chill with zombies like I am. Corpse is just a construct. She knows nothing about his dream having, or learning about feelings, really. As far as she knows, he is still undead and she is up for it.
How old are you? Because you could be 20-something, but you could also be a teenager. You know, you have one of those faces.
This actually raises an interesting question. Do zombies physically age? Obviously, this film's zombies didn't decompose, but they can just pick off their own skin. If humanoid zombies changed 8 years ago, at 20 years old, would he be 20 when he turned into a real boy again, or 28?
Bonies chasing me. Chasing us.
These zombies and bonies are complicated. For the most part, zombies are just mindless creatures who eat brains, but in this film, even the bonies are motivated and seem to have a desire to kill the living beyond just eating them.
Would you change this song, please?
What? It's funny.
No, it's not.
Plus 2 sins for making my jokes for me. Honestly, that is a masterful corpse makeup job. These girls need to open up a mortuary business once society gets back to normal. They'd be millionaires. Why did they seem surprised? Didn't they just put that makeup on him? Oh no, they're having memory loss. They're infected. We're all infected. Shut up, Rick. When you have a zombie film where the zombies are kind of the good guys and the humans are kind of the good guys, how do you make a bad guy? Faceless, inhuman mega zombies. Also, suddenly there are a billion of these bony things ready to run toward the quarantine zone just because a few zombies started turning human. There's really no explanation for this ballsy behavior, other than it's getting close to the end of the movie. So they put makeup on him and he took a sexy, slow-mo shower, but then they just put the same old dirty zombie clothes that he wore for years back on him? They couldn't find him any new clothes. This guy almost did a good job and didn't let the colonel's daughter, her friend, and some stranger in, but he failed.
I triggered something in him, and that must have sparked something in all of them.
Well, doesn't the general's daughter living in the fancy house with the bouncy hair think she's special?
We want to help.
This is the first time he's heard a corpse speak, and he is not even remotely taken aback, nor isn't later executed for treason. This is the second time a goner situation has been fixed by a benevolent corpse showing up out of nowhere to smash some Large, blunt objects seem to be the #1 choice for killing bonies. For years, I just thought about my grandmother naked to kill bonies. Running out of a door to a deadly near drop cliche. If they fell about 150 feet into a 3-foot pool of water, they might slow down a little bit, but R would definitely get squished. This looks more like they were on the side of the pool and did a trust fall into it. Who knew a simple pool of water could have such regenerative powers? That might be a magic pool of water. It's pretty surprising that there weren't algae and mosquitoes breeding in it. Normal water standing for several years can't be that clean without magic. Is he still wearing makeup? Because if so, that's one hell of a mascara. Not to be weird, but your old boyfriend's brains were in that mouth like 3 days ago.
Next one's the head. Move away from him, Julie.
Why not shoot him in the head in the first place?
Corpses don't bleed!
If corpses don't bleed, then what was he wiping all over your face earlier? You know what? I don't want to know. I know it's a rough world out there, but is John Malkovich the only person alive over the age of like 30? Those soldiers are so young. No one worries about the kid who has an open bullet wound and is most likely bleeding out.
The ones we didn't kill just wasted away.
My next question is, how did all these zombies and bonies last this long in the first place, when they didn't have that many humans left to sustain such a large population anyway? Get these zombies some new fucking clothes.
Well, we kind of learned how to live again. For a while, it seemed like a lot of us forgot what that meant.
And by a lot of us, he means all of us, because all the zombies were zombies and didn't know how to live, hence being a zombie.
You're very pretty.
Attractive humans of both genders are now going to have to deal with getting hit on by well-meaning but weird zombies every time they go outside. I'd almost prefer the walled-off compound.
Just R, huh?
Just R.
R doesn't say, how about Romeo? Then turn to the camera and wink. I still have a huge problem. It was clearly stated earlier that the zombies had to eat humans. Yet suddenly, this desire diminished dramatically for every zombie in an instant. What if one of the zombies they are caring for slips up and eats someone? What if there's a herd of zombies that they don't know about that comes through and eats everyone, and they no longer have their wall to protect them? Don't leave me with all these questions.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
By best friend, I mean we occasionally grunt and stare awkwardly at each other.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Shake your ass. Watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show me what you're working with. Shake your ass. What are you? I'm Batman.
I promised myself I'd find a cure ever since I was a little boy. You have no idea what I'd give to feel normal.
Charles has never understood. He's different, but he's never had to hide.
3 darts is too much! That portal is mine, and it must be sealed forever for the love of God.
You know, we always know when you guys look.
Not always.
No, we do. It's true. Go ahead, give it a shot. I'll look away.
Okay.
Now.
Wow. Whoa. That was good.
Now.
Wow.